When a risk event is identified and assessed, a decision must be made concerning which response is appropriate for the specific event. Project managers face a constant challenge, navigating the ever-present threat of risks that can derail project success. Thankfully, they're not left unarmed. In this video, we will describe the 5 strategies for managing risks: mitigation, avoidance, transferring, escalating, and retaining. Mitigation is often the first line of defense. It involves taking steps to either reduce the likelihood of a risk event occurring or minimize its impact on the project. Most project teams prioritize mitigation because a successful mitigation effort can eliminate the need for more complex solutions. There are 2 main ways to mitigate risk. The first method is to reduce the likelihood by taking proactive steps to make the risk event less likely to happen. This might involve implementing stricter quality control measures, diversifying vendors, or adding buffer time to the schedule. The second method is to reduce the impact of the event by planning actions to lessen the damage if the risk event does occur. This could involve having a backup plan for critical resources or establishing clear communication protocols for dealing with unexpected issues. Sometimes, the best defense is a good offense. Avoidance involves modifying the project plan to completely eliminate a risk or the conditions that could cause it. While complete avoidance isn't always possible, some risks can be identified and eliminated before the project even starts. For example, if a particular technology is deemed too unreliable, the project team might choose to adopt a more established alternative. Another approach is to shift the responsibility for managing the risk to another party. Imagine hiring a construction company with expertise in earthquake-resistant buildings. In this case, the risk of earthquake damage is transferred to the construction company. Transferring risk often comes at a price, such as an insurance premium or a higher contract cost. The party receiving the risk should have the ability to effectively manage it. Clearly defined and documented responsibilities are crucial for successful risk transfer. In some situations, it is best to escalate the risk to another party. This strategy involves notifying the appropriate people within the organization about a risk that falls outside the project's scope or the project manager's authority. For example, a project manager might escalate a risk about a competitor's development to higher management for strategic decision-making. In some cases, it is best to accept the inevitable and retain the risk. This approach involves making a conscious decision to accept the risk. Some risks may be too large or complex to mitigate, avoid, or transfer. For instance, the risk of a natural disaster might be retained because the likelihood of its occurrence is low. There are several ways to manage retained risks. First, it is important to develop plans to address the risk if it materializes. Second, allocating budget specifically for dealing with potential cost overruns caused by retained risks is often useful. Lastly, in rare cases, simply accepting a potential cost overrun if the risk event occurs. In summary, the choice of risk response strategy depends on several factors, including the project's risk appetite and the preferences of key stakeholders. Understanding these factors helps project managers make informed decisions about how to manage potential risks and navigate their way to project success. A contingency plan is an alternative strategy implemented if a potential risk materializes, designed to mitigate negative impacts. Unlike a risk response, which is part of the initial plan and executed before the risk occurs, a contingency plan activates only after the risk is recognized. A contingency plan addresses what actions will be taken, where, when, and how much action is necessary. Without one, managers may delay decisions, leading to panic and costly, hasty remedies. Effective contingency planning evaluates and selects the best alternatives in advance, ensuring a smooth transition to the remedy and increasing project success chances. Risk response matrices are valuable for summarizing the project team strategies for managing identified risks. The first step is to decide whether to mitigate, avoid, transfer, escalate, or retain each risk. For example, the team might mitigate the risk of system freezing by experimenting with a prototype, which helps identify and fix conversion bugs before the actual installation and provides insights to enhance user acceptance. The team can then document changes between the old and new systems to include in user training. To address the risk of equipment malfunction, the team might transfer this risk by selecting a reliable supplier with a strong warranty program. This slide discusses common methods for handling risk, emphasizing the importance of addressing technical risks, which can sometimes lead to project shutdowns. To manage these risks, contingency plans should be prepared for foreseeable issues. Project managers need to have backup strategies and methods to quickly assess whether technical uncertainties can be resolved. Often, organizations defer addressing the threat of project delays until they surface, at which point contingency funds are used to expedite or crash the project by shortening critical path activities. Crashing involves reducing project duration by compressing one or more critical tasks to get the project back on track. Long-duration projects need specific contingencies for price changes, which are usually upward. It is crucial to avoid the lump-sum approach to covering price risks, such as adding a flat 3% for inflation across all resources. This method lacks specificity and control, failing to address where price protection is truly needed. Instead, project managers should evaluate price risks item by item, identifying potential changes and estimating their impact. This approach ensures better control and tracking of contingency funds, allowing for effective management throughout the project's lifecycle. By implementing these strategies, project managers can enhance their ability to handle risks and improve the likelihood of project success. This lecture has focused on negative risks, potential problems that could impact a project. However, it's important to also consider positive risks, known as opportunities. Opportunities are events that can positively impact project objectives. For example, favorable weather might speed up construction, or a drop in fuel prices could provide savings to enhance the project. The process for managing opportunities is similar to managing negative risks. Identify, assess, respond, and create contingency plans if needed. The key difference lies in the responses to these opportunities. Project management identifies 5 response types for opportunities. Exploit, ensuring the opportunity occurs by removing uncertainty. Share, allocating ownership to others who can best capture the benefit. Enhance, increasing the likelihood or impact of the opportunity. Escalate, passing the opportunity to higher management if it exceeds the project's scope. And accept, being prepared to act if the opportunity arises but not actively pursuing it. Actively managing opportunities is essential and can significantly benefit the project,